Digital Romance TV.
Welcome to Digital Romance TV. I'm Joe Amoia, founder and creator of the GPSforlove.com. Are you running around searching blogs, reading books, signing up for courses and programs, trying to figure out what is it that you can do to get a guy to commit to you? Well, if that's you, I want you to pay close attention to this video because I've got some good news and the bad news. And so let's start off with the bad news. And the bad news is there isn't really one thing that you can do. Because let's be honest, if there was one book, if there was one program, there was one place you can go to learn this magic thing, let's be honest, there would be a line from here to California, right? So unfortunately, that is the bad news. But the good news is that there's more than one way. But I've been racking my brains trying to figure out, if there is one thing that could really make a huge difference, there's something that you can do that could greatly increase your chances of getting a guy to fall madly in love and want to commit to you. What would that thing be? And so I kind of came down to this one conclusion, and this is it. So I want you to pay close attention. If you really want a guy to step up, to commit to you, to want to be with you and spend the rest of his life with you, there's really just one thing that you've got to do. It's like building a house. This is the foundation. It all comes down to this. And that's what I call is owning your awesomeness, owning your power. So let me explain what I mean by that. Let's be real, okay? If a guy's going to commit his life to you and want to be with you, there's got to be something really special about you. There's got to be something that's different about you compared to all the other women that he's met. And so when you understand what makes that different, what makes you different, what makes you unique is you, and you own that, you instantly become more attractive to a guy. Because I'm going to give you a little insight because I've been a guy for 47 years now. There's a lot of women out there who don't own their awesomeness, who don't stand in their power, who don't own their uniqueness. And because of that, they try so hard. They're so desperate to do things to try and make a guy want to be with them. And no guy wants to be forced into being with anyone. When I picked my wife, I picked her because she was different. She was special. She was what I was looking for. And that might not have worked for a lot of other guys, but it worked for me. So I want you to realize that what makes you different, again, is you. And so you have to own that. You have to stand in that power. And you have to make your choices and decisions from that place. I always say there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. We're not talking about a woman who thinks her shit doesn't smell. That's not what we're talking about at all. We're talking about a woman who quietly owns that she's special, that she's unique, and she's got a lot to offer a guy. And so here's a question I always offer, is that if you were a guy with all the other women that are out there, would you commit to you? Now, I know your knee-jerk response would be, sure, Joe, absolutely I would. And so here's the follow-up question. Why? What makes you different? What makes you unique? And don't give me that BS, well, I'm a nice person. I have a good heart. I love the Lord. I say my prayers. I love the beach. I love my dog, kumbaya, all that BS. That may be true, but what is it that really makes you unique? What makes you special? And if you have a hard time conveying that, because you should be able to say it like that, if you have a hard time saying it or coming up with that answer, leads me to believe that you don't own your power. You don't own your awesomeness. You don't own your uniqueness. So here's what I want you to do, is I want you to step out and again ask yourself, would you be with you? If so, why? I want you to come up with your top 5 reasons why you would be with you. And if you can come up with those 5, there's a good chance that you own it. And you simply need to keep putting yourself out there till you find the right guy. And when the right guy comes along, you'll know it, but more importantly, he'll know it. And he'll consistently show you by his actions that he wants to be with you, and he'll have no problem committing to you. However, if you have a hard time coming up with those 5 answers, there's a good indication that you don't own it yet. And so what I want you to do is simply step back and look at your life and see where's that part of your life where you do own it, where you do know you rock, you do know you're awesome. It may be a hobby, it may be a passion, you might know you're a great friend, you're a great employee, you're a great, whatever it may be, you know you're rock. There's that inner winner within you. But then there's also that part where you may be struggling, which is causing you not to come up with the answers. And that's that scared little child that is afraid to admit it, or doesn't really feel good about herself, or doesn't feel that she's special, or feels that, she's got some stuff, or her butt's too big, or she's not good enough, pretty enough, attractive enough, whatever it is, yada yada. There's a story there. So you've got to identify that. You've got to deal with that, and you've got to work on that, because that's all part of owning your awesomeness. Because the reality is, if you think a guy's going to solve your problems, he's going to complete you, it's not going to happen. Look back over your life, look at all those guys, look at all those relationships that you had where it never led to the experience that you really want. Because I promise you, when you do own it and you stand in your power and you operate from that place, when the right guy comes along, he's going to go, you know what? You're the best thing that ever happened to me. I can't let you get away. So I'd love to hear from you. I know this is a lot. We brought it up, and there's some deep stuff here. Now you have an opportunity. You can run from it. You can avoid it and go search, finding some other answers on how to wear your hair so you can attract a guy. Or you can deal with this stuff, jump right in, and really say, you know what? Let me be honest here. Let me take some mirror time to see what's really going on for me. Maybe I don't own it yet. And maybe that's apparent by the things that I'm saying and the things I'm doing. And maybe guys are picking up on that. And maybe that's why I haven't attracted the right guy. As always, I'd love to hear from you. Please put your comments and your feedback in the box below. And I'll see you next time. Have a great day. Much love.